All right, y'all. So today I wanted to talk about functions and function notation. So the last video we had talked about functions in general and how we identify them, but now we're going to talk about how they actually look. So instead of just a table, we'll have a equation type thing. So we're going to talk about what is function notation, and then we're going to evaluate functions at a specific x value. So this is going to be the first part of our evaluating notes, and then we'll take another part to talk about the second way to do that. All right, so let's get into our notes. They look like this. So let's start out at the very top here with function notation. All right, so this is going to be read as f of, oh gracious, Miss Fields, learn how to write. F of x. There we go. That's what that says. F of x equals. So this is basically just telling us that we are going to have a function of x. And so whatever follows that is going to be our function. Now this is going to act a lot like our y. So we don't need to change anything here. It's just telling us what we have. It's going to say a function of x. So this is basically the same as our y, like I just said. Okay, so let's take a look at evaluating these. So evaluating at x. To evaluate a function at a specific x value, you are going to substitute or replace the given value for x and then solve. So these are going to be a lot of calculator math. This is very, very specific, maybe not specific, but straightforward, I guess is a better way to say it. We're basically just going to put in a number for our x value and then just find out what our answer will be. So let's take a look at number 1 over here. All right, so our given is going to be f of x equals 5x minus 1. So this is our function. We need to find f of 3. So if you'll notice, this guy and this guy look real similar. The only difference here is that instead of an x, we have a number. What we're going to do is replace the x in our equation with a 3. So I got 5, 3, minus 1. Remember, whenever you plug anything in, you want to have parentheses around it. So those parentheses are telling me that I'm going to need to multiply. So remember the order of operations, PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S. That was parentheses. Maybe if I could spell, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. Subtract. There we go. All right, so we're going to follow these orders of operations here. So we actually don't have any of the top ones until we get to multiply. We see we have multiplication here, so we're going to do that first. 5 times 3, that's going to be 15. And we still have our minus 1. Now we have subtraction, that's the last one, so we got 15 minus 1, that's going to be 14. And that's our answer. Like I said, these are pretty straightforward, so you're just plugging in your number for your x and then solving from there. So let's take a look at number 2. We have f of x is equal to 37 minus 4x. That's our function. We want to find f of 17. So once again, I'm going to put the 17 in for our x right here. So I got 37 minus 4, parentheses 17. Don't forget those parentheses. They are very important. Okay, so once again, we're going to multiply first. I got 37 minus 4 times 17. That is going to be 68. And then I have, all right, then I have 37 minus 68. I'm going to use my calculator. 37 minus 68. That is negative 31. That's my answer. Okay, number 2. Plugging in a 28, it looks like. I'm going to be plugging 28 into this x here. So that will leave us with negative 7 times 28 plus 6 over 10. All right, so this is a fraction, and that's okay. Like I said a lot while we were doing this in class, we're going to embrace the decimals and fractions just because it will come up, and I want you to get more comfortable with these. So we're going to start with the very top first. You're going to solve the top first. I got -7 times 28. That is going to be -196 plus 6 over 10. Okay, well, still going with the top, I'm going to solve this part next. We have 196, or -196 plus 6. That's going to be -190. Like I said, I'm using a calculator here. I expect you to do the same. I don't know these off the top of my head, and neither should you. So now we have -190 divided by 10. That's going to be -19. And there's our answer. Cool. All right. Let's do another one. Let's do number 4. Okay. Given f of x is equal to 3 times the quantity of x minus 6 plus 2, we are going to find f of 7. So I'm going to plug in a 7 for my x here. So keeping in mind, it's okay to have double parentheses. That's absolutely fine. Nothing is wrong there. Okay, so since this has a little bit more going on, I'm going to start with my parentheses first. Remember, in our order of operations, parentheses comes first, so I'm going to do that first. In those parentheses, we have 7 minus 6. Well, I know 7 minus 6 is going to be 1. And I have the rest to write down. And then we have multiplication, so we have 3 times 1, that's going to be 3. And then we have 3 plus 2, that's going to be 5. Okay, next one, number 5. All right, so we're putting in a 47 for our x here. So I got 1 over 5, 47, minus 18. So something that came up a lot in class was that there were a few different ways to do these, and there are, and that's totally fine. As long as we both get to the same number, that's the main thing I'm worried about here. Because what you could do is just plug this entire thing into your calculator if you wanted to. But we don't, it doesn't have to be the same exact way, is what I'm trying to get at. So I'm going to do this using fractions because those make me feel more comfortable. So I'm going to put this 47 over 1 to make it look like a fraction. And then I'm going to multiply straight across. So I got 1 times 47, that's 47. And then on the bottom, we have 5 times 1. Well, that's 5. And we still have our minus 18 over here. Cool. So now I could just divide 47 by 5. And that will be, goodness, divided by 5, there we go. 9.4 minus 18. And that will be equal to negative 8.6. So you're just going through and you're just simplifying it until you get to one number. That's basically it. Let's do the last one here. We have f of x equal to 2.2 times the quantity of 4x plus 7. And we want f of 1. So I'm going to put that 1 in for x right here. So that's going to leave me 2.2 times 4 times 1 plus 7. Cool. So once again, we have those parentheses, so I'm going to do that first. We got 2.2 on the outside. We got 4 times 1 on the inside. Well, that's just 4. And then, so we're still on the inside of those parentheses, so I'm going to say 4 plus 7, that will be 11. And then we have 2.2 times 11, and that's going to be 24.2. And that is going to be it for evaluating at a specific x value. So like I said, there's going to be a second part to these notes, and that will be evaluating at a y value. Okay? Have a good night. Bye.